So Brandon asked me, RJ, would Urban Meyer consider coming back, or you think his health would still keep him out? Backstory here, for those of you that don't know. Urban Meyer stepped down as head coach at Ohio State last year following health concerns for a second time. It's his second retirement, but he's won national championships at the last two places that he's retired from. Florida in 2008, of course, and then Ohio State in 2014. We all expect him to continue to be a TV analyst because he's really good at it and there's less stress and he gets more family time. And that's really been the issue with him and his family going back to his time at Bowling Green State, which is not a state anymore. It's just Bowling Green. At least I think. Corey, you'd be able to tell me that. But I enjoy talking about whether or not Urban Meyer is going to return. I think in the current climate, he's not going to return because, well, he's made millions and millions of dollars. He also owns a pint house in Columbus. He collects $100,000 a year as a special AD assistant at Ohio State. And there's not really a place for him to go right now. You know, maybe next year, but it'd be hard to see that. And the thing that I think most people would forget about it is wherever he goes, he's going to have to start from scratch. And while Ohio State was a place that he wanted to be, and that was the only job that he wanted to take at the time, folks wanted to throw him into the race for the USC job that is no longer available. But it would have been a really good time to be the USC head coach because they return so much. I mean, they have one of the highest returning productions of any college football team in the country right now. But from a home and life standpoint, babe, I'm going to put this into you. Like, if I had an opportunity to retire doing what I'm doing and everybody was fine, everything was set, would you want me to continue to do this if it was going to cause stress? Remember, I'm really good at it, but it would cause stress and family time would go on the floor.
I mean, I would try to keep my personal desires on the back burner because I also know that for you being idle, I mean, you don't really know how to play and just chill at life. You've got to be making, grinding, creating, doing. So if you had something else that you felt equally good at and passionate about doing instead, that would be one thing. But I would never ask you to just, let's just go to Aruba for a month. That's not who you are. You don't know how. But I still love you.
I would very much like to go to Aruba for a month, so we're talking, since we're talking about it.
Well, we can come back to that.
Now, from the football standpoint of that, I mean, I think there's a lot in common there. You talk about being idle. Football coaches are used to routine. They're used to doing a million things all the time. They're used to being the most important thing in the room most of the time, and they're used to being very, very good at what they're doing because life outside of football is not something they've had to encounter a whole lot of. I mean, one of my favorite stories of Lincoln Riley is that he doesn't remember the garage door code to his house as he has a photographic memory about football, which, tells you everything you need to know about Lincoln Riley. Mm-hmm. But we're in this very weird place now where the XFL season has been canceled. So I saw this in the chat, and I'm going to bring this into the conversation. Either one of you pick it up. But Urban Meyer to the XFL feels like a good move if that's something he wanted to do because it would raise the profile of the XFL even more than it is already, which is remarkable when you think about it because they did a whole lot of good with that league already. But I can only imagine what it would be like for somebody to have Bob Stoops in their league along with Urban Meyer in their league as they're trying to really get it off the ground and start to make some money. It hasn't. But do you think that Urban Meyer going to the XFL as opposed to returning to college football or going to the NFL is a good idea? I mean, more prestige when the NFL and whatnot. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to add, I don't know where all the XFL teams are because I'm lame. Does Columbia have one?
Ron, do you know where all the XFL?
That's where he's rooted, right?
Yes, that's where he's rooted.
Yeah. I can name three: L.A., Washington, Dallas. Is there one in Sioux Falls? Beats me. But I think that going to the XFL would be, for Urban Meyer, would be pretty good because I know this dude has a history of health problems. and the amount of stress that he would get from running an organization that is failure is within their business plan. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we move on. If he goes to another high profile job, he's going to be under those high profile conditions again. And I mean, kind of like Bob Stoops going to whatever his XFL team is in Dallas. It's one of those opportunities. Like, there's nothing wrong here if I crash. I can coach to for myself as opposed to other people. Because I honestly think that Urban Meyer likes to coach football, and it's kind of a shame that he's had to retire as many times as he has. Kind of like it's a sad story, for a millionaire football coach.
I'm going to see if I can't earn my sports talk show host merit badge here. Dallas Renegades, Houston Roughnecks, Tampa Bay Vipers, New York Guardians, DC Defenders, Los Angeles Wildcats, Seattle Dragons. I'm missing one.
San Jose Sharks.
No.
Montreal Canadiens.
What am I missing, guys? Dallas Renegades, of course.
Chattanooga
Of course I am.
Lookouts.
Dallas Renegades.
No, you led with them.
I did?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go back through it. There's one Florida team. There's one DC team. There's one New York team. There's one LA team. There's one Seattle team. St. Louis Battlehawks.
There you go.
That's 8. There we go.
Chicago?
No Chicago. No Chicago. They did a pretty good job of trying to populate it in either major metropolitan cities where it's going to be warm in February or warmer in February, or near other NFL fan bases where they would be starved for football. So I think that's interesting. I want to address the title of this video, though, because I don't want to be the content creator who trolled everybody. By the way, Carvin, ain't nobody going to get after me, including my mama. Laurel's her favorite person. So you want to take up the religious conversation
That's
with
an
her,
exaggeration.
you can do that. However, I said Oklahoma and Texas football versus SEC football featuring Laurel and Ron in the title, which that's Laurel, that's Ron. You get it.